Welcome back to TTS Daily. I'm Yi, depending on where you are. This might be Christmas Eve, Christmas, or even Boxing Day. Anyway, we're now in Arizona, USA, where a 27-year-old TikToker, Charles Smith, has been arrested for his prank content. So on December 19, 2024, a few days before Christmas, he decided it would be a good idea to film himself taking a can of bug spray and spray them on various fresh fruits and vegetables at a Walmart at a grocery section. Smith used Hotshot Ultra Bedbug and Flea Killer to spray items like bananas, acorn squash, potatoes, lemons, green apples, and Roma tomatoes. He did this while wearing a black hoodie and pink bandana. This video has now been deleted. As usual, he thrives on prank culture. He thrives on prank content, something that I have mentioned before in a previous story, that prank content has to end, especially when they endanger someone else, you know. Surprise, surprise. I mean, just make it make sense, you know. So he claimed to police officers that he is making between $6,000 to $10,000 monthly from such pranks. So I'm not trying to put other content creators out of livelihood, but I mean, if you want to make pranks, as I have said before, make wholesome pranks, okay? There's a form of prank content called wholesome pranks. You can see a lot of South Korean creators doing that, where it's just basically two persons having a really ridiculous conversation, so funny. They just record the reactions of bystanders or passerbys, you know, patrons nearby from hearing their funny conversation, okay? This is called wholesome pranks. So I suggest, you know, you might want to pivot your content, okay? Anyway, Smith turned himself in to the police on December 21st, and he has spent Christmas in jail. He faces 1 felony charge for introducing poison and 3 misdemeanor charges, including criminal damage, endangerment, and theft. Walmart has responded by removing all contaminated products and cleaning the affected areas. Netizens are obviously in uproar over this because the use of pesticides on food is harmful. Surprise, surprise. Not surprising there. It is noted on the can of the bug spray itself that it can be harmful if swallowed and can cause allergic reactions with prolonged or repeated skin contact, according to the product's website too. If convicted of tampering with consumer products, Smith could face 5 to 20 years in prison. We go straight to Malaysia, Melaka right now, where on December 19, in a shocking story, a man allegedly attempted to kidnap a girl outside the toilet of a hypermarket in Melaka, Malaysia on the night of December 19. Apparently, the man tried to lead Amanda Tan's 7-year-old daughter away, saying, "Job enjoy lah." This actually means like, "Come, let's go have fun." Amanda was shocked, quickly pulling her daughter back and shouted at the man, causing him to leave. Amanda then reported the incident to the customer service counter, but the customer service counter was just indifferent. They are like, "Oh, I see. And what can we do now?" You know, I mean, customer service, they are not really trained to, I don't know, should there be training for customer service to react better to such emergency? I would say this is an emergency, right? So Amanda is frustrated by the indifference of the customer service counter, okay? And her daughter was so scared, Amanda sent her daughter home, and then she called for help. She returned with her husband and brother, and they searched the mall, okay? She wants to confront the man. Amanda, I hope you do know that a police report is in order instead of trying to do, you know, like some form of social justice on your own, because we do not know if this man here, if he's suffering from any mental illness or, you know. Anyway, finally, photos shown on social media after that can be seen, most likely the family members confronting the man who was on the ground, and they were getting physical with the man on the ground. The hypermarket later informed Amanda that they could not take action as the man was mentally ill. Okay, so my guess was correct there. The local police confirmed they received a report and are investigating the matter. Everyone, keep a close eye on your children out there. We need to protect our children, okay? Thank you for your bravery, Amanda, but please be careful trying to take justice in your own hands. I suggest immediately make a police report, okay? Or if customer service counter is indifferent to you, ask for a supervisor, someone who is better trained to deal with the situation at hand. Alright, Alright, back to Singapore. Never say never. We have never featured a sports story before, but here we go. So as you know, Singapore has made it to the ASEAN Championship semi-final, and they just had their semi-final first leg match with Vietnam today. Sadly, Singapore lost. Vietnam scored 2 goals in stoppage time, 1 penalty at the 101 minute and another goal added 3 minutes later. Okay, so punters be crying. Singapore's unbeaten streak at Jalan Besar Stadium ended with this loss. Their last loss was in 2017 against Chinese Taipei. That is 7 years ago. Unbeaten streak at Jalan Besar Stadium for 7 years. That is mighty impressive, okay? The last time Singapore was in the semi-final at the Asian Championship was at the 2020 edition, which took place in 2021 because we had COVID in 2020. Singapore last appearance at the ASEAN Championship was at 2022, where they didn't progress past the knockout stage. The second leg with Vietnam will take place in Vietnam, and if Singapore can progress to the final, Singapore has a chance to meet either Thailand or Philippines in the final. So, Singapore, you can do it. More news and stories about Singapore. On Christmas Eve, December 24th, 2 passengers engaged in a physical fight on a Scoot flight. Wow, that will be terrifying to see if you're on that flight and if that happened mid-flight. But don't worry, this altercation happened during disembarkation. Whew. Okay, anyway, this happened on flight TR135 from Xi'an to Singapore on Christmas Eve. I mean, I'm guessing maybe they are so eager to spend Christmas Eve in Singapore that maybe a little pushing and shoving happened, you know. So there is this 20-second video, you know, that you can see the altercation. Obviously, we're going to blur out all the action movements because, you know, we aren't allowed to show, okay? Passengers shouted for the fight to stop, citing the presence of children. Stop fighting, there's children here. Does that mean you could get into physical fights publicly if there are no children? I don't know. It just didn't make sense. Okay, Scoot's crew intervened to stop the fight. According to safe protocols, no further disruptions occurred during the disembarkation. And everyone, I hope you had a happy Christmas Eve, Christmas and Boxing Day, and Happy New Year. Okay, the last story of the day, I need to update this story from yesterday where I reported possible high-rise litter that happened at an outdoor playground in Sengkang. Okay, as you know the story yesterday, I mentioned a 2-year-old girl suffered injuries, you know, head wound from mysterious metal object that dropped. There's more context right now. After I see the pictures, I feel compelled to share more context, because if you look at this picture of the metal object, it's actually a large 10 cm. 10 cm is probably like this. It's a large 10 cm metal hook. And I mean, high-rise litter along with gravity. I'm just saying, look at that picture. That could impale if it hit anybody at certain angles. You can see certain angles have the 2 sharp prong. Yeah. So seeing the picture of the object just amplified the seriousness of this matter. You know, like, who is behind this? You know, we need accountability. Okay. Thankfully, the child is safe. She had a deep cut, but thankfully, by the power of some mysterious intervention, divine intervention, you know, she is safe, and she only had some cuts, although there were a lot of blood, but thankfully she is safe and she remains strong. The mother was alone with her 3 children. I'm just saying, we need to protect our children. Children love going to the playgrounds, outdoor, indoor. We need to keep them safe. High-rise litter, as I've said yesterday, could lead to being killer litter. We need this to end. And for context, neighbors around the neighborhood have noted that this metal hook looks like the hook that people use on sky bridges for securing water pipes. So there's suspicion that it could have been thrown from above. Then there has been similar reports in the estate where someone might have been removing these metal hooks and disposing them everywhere along the estate. So hopefully CCTV footage can help police investigations, because we need this to stop, okay?